Sup guys, so welcome to this new video on types of data in Python, and basically we are going to cover about numbers, Boolean, and one more type called as none type in this video. So let's barge in. Okay, just like in most of the programming languages, we have numbers in Python, but the twist here is that we have only three different types of numbers in Python, which means that we have integers, floats, and one more type which we wouldn't use much often. Still, that is available, that is provided by Python to us, called as complex numbers. Okay, so without any further delay, we'll start with integers. So what is an integer? Any number that does not have any number that's not a floating value, any real number that does not have a decimal value, or a float is which is not a floating type, is called as an integer, right? For example, 10 is an integer. Type of 10 is an integer, right? And the other type we have is float. For example, type of 10.0, it is a float, right? We do not have something like long or double or short or any of that kind of things in Python. Any number, for example, a is equal to, this is a floating point value in Python. You don't have to have, yeah, I mean, it's not like a double or anything of that sort. Type of a float. Now if I say b is equal to, however big a number I give, it is just an integer. Right? Yes. So what is other type? The complex numbers. You have heard of complex numbers, right? Remember the concept of complex numbers from our schooling? Yes, a complex number is a number that has two parts. The first one called as the real part, and the second one called as the imaginary part. Right? So yes, so it has any number that has a both real and imaginary parts is called as a complex number. The difference between the like the complex numbers that we have studied in our schooling and the complex numbers that are implemented in Python, excuse me, is nothing but, in our schooling we have learned the imaginary parts notation as I. In Python it is j. Okay, let us see how to create a complex number. Let us say uh, I have just I, or in maths, here in Python it is j, right? We cannot write simply j, we have to write 1j to make the compiler understand that it is a complex number. Okay, so a is equal to 1j. Now what is type of a? Complex, right? Got it? So how can we prove that uh, j is I? J is the notation in Python for I in maths, right? So what we'll do, we'll print the square of that value in a, right? So what should be the square of I? What is the value of I square? -1, right? -1 plus 0j. 0j is, again, you need not specify that, but Python does. Okay, so this proves that j is what we call as square root of -1. J is what we call I in our schooling. Right, right. So what is the next type? So we are done with numbers. Numbers are simply integers, float, and complex. Right, so after numbers we have something called as Boolean, which we all are aware of what it is. As the name suggests, it is just zeros and ones. We are facilitated with false and true as the representations in Python, which are equivalents of 0 and 1 respectively. Which means, let us say A is equal to, if I want to say like, if I want 0, it is FALSE, false. Now type of A, Boolean. B is equal to true. Type of B, Boolean again. Alright. Now we'll see A plus B. Because A is false, which is 0, and B is true, which is 1. You get A plus B, 1. 0 plus 1. Right. So these are the main what do you call types of data in Python. In Python, we do not have something called as a declaration of a variable. Okay, I cannot say C and just press enter. It will say C is not defined because there is no concept of declaration of variables in Python. We only can define variables. But let us assume you have a requirement in your program that you want to kind of declare a variable that you might be using in the future during the execution of your code. Since Python is dynamic, you do not have to worry about it. You can create your variables on the go. But still, if you have such a requirement, then we have something called as none. None is a data type in Python. Okay, so I can say C is equal to none, which means if I say print C, like the Python interpreter says that there is nothing it is pointing to. Okay, there is none in it, there is nothing in it, like that. Okay, so what is type of C? None type. So this is how you can what do you call, sort of implement the declaration of a variable in Python, though not an exactly a declaration just like in other programming languages, but yeah, this does the job. This is it for this video. Thank you